we're gonna do the Swiss stage picks. It's a best of one between these teams. And whoever goes 1-0 will only verse a team that goes 1-0. So you pretty much verse the same scoreline team until you get 3 losses, then you're eliminated. The first person that gets to get 3 wins gets to advance to the next stage. There's only going to be 8 teams that will be advancing into the next stage for Worlds. Let's just say Gen.G and JDG are definitely going to make it. They are for sure going to make it. I'm going to choose the 4 teams that I think are definitely going to make it. LNG is definitely going to make it. Yeah, I don't think all of the Eastern teams are going to make it. I think there's going to be an upset somewhere. Because if you look at the 4th seed for both the LCK and the LPL, they are quite flip-floppy. DK, Weibo Gaming, they've had the highest of highs and they've also had the lowest of lows. I think KT is really strong, but the unfortunate thing is that KT just fumbled it towards the later ends of the stages. I have a feeling that G2 is going to upset one of the 4th seeds from either LCK or LPL, or the 3rd seed. I've been very conflicted about BLG because BLG, they had an amazing summer, most wins, I believe, in a summer split ever, and then during playoffs, they shit the bed against JDG, and then they shit the bed against LNG, and they're out. But I think BLG, they really depend on Elk doing well, and Elk's been very on and off, especially with the meta change. The meta is Kai'Sa, Xayah, Ezreal, Kalista, Draven. I don't think Elk plays a lot of all of those champions. But hey, they proved me wrong at MSI. They beat both LCK teams. So maybe I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm so conflicted about T1 as well. We'll put T1 in there because I think T1's better than DK. I think T1's better than Weibo Gaming. Honestly, for some fucking reason, I feel like WBG is gonna play better than BLG at Worlds. No, I shit you not. The Light is actually really underrated. Light is giga underrated. It's true. It's written in the script that Showmaker and Canyon will always do well at internationals, no matter what circumstance they came from. So I'll choose DK. I don't know if I'm gonna include both LPL teams, the remaining LPL teams, because it's BLG versus Weibo Gaming. And I feel like which one of these teams is most likely going to lose to a Western team? 3 people on Weibo Gaming are giga flips. They are giga flips. They either go 0-10 or 10-0 in the first 10 minutes. There's no argument about that. BLG, Bin is usually good. I don't think Yago's the type to like literally shit himself in a team fight. Elk and On both are huge flips. Personally, I think Shun hasn't been the biggest problem. Does Weibo Gaming play JDG first or does BLG play JDG first? BLG 0% winner against JDG the entirety of 2023. Weibo Gaming 100% winner against JDG the entirety of 2023. It literally depends on who gets JDG first and mental blows up. It is quite hard for NA or GAM to advance because of the sheer amount of powerhouses that we have in Worlds this year. So obviously it's gonna be T1. C9 versus Mad. I think Mad is probably gonna win. Gen.G, JDG, G2, Weibo Gaming, LNG. Last one might be controversial because BLG looks weird, but I think BLG can fuck KT up in the first 20 minutes. I believe in the boys. Okay? This is so scuffed. Ain't no way this is gonna happen, dude. It's not looking too hot for NA. Okay, so T1 versus BLG. Ooh. Dude, honestly, these randomly generated matches are so hyped to watch in the first place. BLG hasn't really looked as good since summer split. I'm on Zaza. T1, let's say T1 wins. Mad Lions versus G2. It's probably a G2 win. I'm sorry. It's probably a G2 win. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if LNG won the LPL finals. We haven't seen LNG at internationals this year. Gen.G looked really good during summer as well, so it's hard to determine. So LNG is the only team that's been able to bring JDG to 5 games in a best of 5 series in both the summer playoffs and the summer finals. And every single game was genuinely super duper close. So they're around the same level as JDG. I completely forgot that it's gonna be the perfect patch for Gala. JDG versus WBG. LNG are more consistent in their carry roles. JDG, okay. Are we going against the law? Let's just do JDG. So KT is probably gonna win. KT, DK. Ooh, Fnatic versus Gam. Fnatic versus Gam. I didn't watch too many games of Fnatic, so I'm just gonna trust you guys. BDS will be the NA killer. And BDS and NRG, I haven't seen NRG play this year, I'm gonna be honest. I know they made a miracle run in the LCS through the entire playoffs and then they won the final, so that's super impressive. But BDS is also kicking ass in LPL. In Plains. Golden Guardians are supposed to be first or second seed. True! BDS completely dismantled Golden Guardians. No shot the 3 NA teams are in 0-2 right now. NA's literally just killing each other in the 0-2 bracket for me. Okay, well, let's work from the bottom. Team Liquid versus Gam. I would say it's probably a Team Liquid win. I'm not too familiar with the C9 versus NRG matchup, but I'm pretty confident that TL is gonna make it through. People are predicting C9 winning against NRG. T1 have plot armor, true. It's Worlds in Korea. I feel like from pure experience, I can understand people saying T1, and also you also have to consider that they're in home territory. So LNG will beat Genji, but not T1. Wait, true. It's all making sense. Do T1. I have a feeling it might be T1. Do we need to explain? Okay, so KT versus Mad. KT most likely will. I'm sorry EU. I'm so sorry EU. Genji is probably gonna fist DK. BLG is gonna fist Fnatic. BDS versus WBG. If we have a timeline where BDS versus WBG, that is going to be so fucking hype. But I truly think the Shy has so much experience being the GOAT of LPL that he's probably going to fist Adam. I'm so sorry. Adam is really fun to watch, but I don't think he's good enough / he has enough fundamentals to lane against the Shy. Because the problem with the Shy is that he's not bad. He just has a tendency of trollololing, trollolo, trollolo, ho ho ho. Sometimes I just overextend. But his laning is genuinely one of the best lanings in the entirety of LPL. Ain't no way it's BLG versus LNG. Ain't no way. Alright, well, I'm pretty certain that it's going to be Genji advancing to the next stage, guys. It's a best of 3. It's a best of 3. G2 potentially could win in a best of 1. That's been my argument for like the past 2 rounds. But in a best of 3, I don't think they will win against LC Kate first seed. KT Keen versus the Shy is gonna be it's gonna be fire. It really depends on a lot of factors for WBG. It depends on if the Shy is given champions like, you know, Renekton or Cassante. I have a feeling KT is gonna win. I'm pretty happy with this. LNG, Genji, KT advancing. I believe in Mad. I believe in Mad. Team Liquid, they looked a bit shaky from the little amounts of games that I saw. Everybody settle down. These are just a potential look at the future of how games can play out. Obviously, the games and how teams are drawn are going to be completely RNG. If you're upset with the way I've played out the entire format, it's not going to be true. I'm just trying to determine which last 8 teams is going to be my choice, I guess, for my pick'ems. And I thought this was a little bit fun, so I'll do this. Korean teams never lose best of 3s. I'm actually feeling pretty good about EU this year. I don't know, am I coping? I feel kind of good about LEC this year. Maybe I'm becoming an LEC coper. DK is a huge dark horse going to Worlds, but I don't know what their form is going to be. Maybe I'm underselling DK too much, but I genuinely think BLG is just going to win against DK as well. G2 versus Fnatic. The LEC frogs are gonna go crazy over this one. Ah, G2! Okay, I believe. G2's gonna make it. G2's gonna make it. Bop, 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 bop. The final spot that will make it to top 8. Okay, it's WBG advancing. My list has been complete. My list has completed itself. So, back to my actual pick'ems. It's not DK. It's BLG. It's WBG. It's G2. Boom! My 8 teams advancing into the top 8. Gen G, T1, KT, JDG, BLG, LNG, WBG, G2. And you can't call me LPL biased.